Picture this. Before mountains, before soil, before even a single grain of sand ever existed, there was only water. Just endless, freezing, empty water. And flying above it all, a goose, a duck, and a supreme god who was, well, frankly, just a little too lazy to do the heavy lifting himself. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking absolutely the weirdest, most fascinating creation story you've probably never heard. And the wildest part of the whole shebang? It all starts with a duck who told a lie. So, let me ask you, ever wonder why ducks waddle? I mean, it seems like a pretty standard biological quirk, right? Just a normal evolutionary trait of waterfowl. But what if I told you that in ancient Siberian and Turkic cosmology, this isn't a biology question at all? It's actually a cosmic mystery. By the end of this explainer, we're going to solve that mystery, and trust me, it involves a massive divine punishment that literally shaped the earth we stand on. Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1. The anxious goose god. A disturbance of calm. To really understand the duck, we first have to understand the universe before time even began. In the beginning, there was nothing but an infinite, dark ocean stretching forever in every single direction. No land, no sky above, absolutely no stars, just turbulent, chaotic water. The universe is in this primordial state, completely devoid of life or substance. And flying above this endless ocean is the supreme creator of everything, a god named Kaira Khan. Now, what's so fascinating here is how this completely flips our expectations of a creator god. Usually, supreme gods are, confident, omnipotent, and human-shaped. Think Zeus or Odin. But Kaira Khan? Well, in the earliest versions of this myth, he isn't male, he isn't female, and he definitely isn't human. He's actually a pure white goose. And even though he rules from the 17th layer of heaven, he's flying all alone, and he is terrified. He's experiencing what the myths call a disturbance of his calm. The water beneath him is stormy, and he's just filled with loneliness, turmoil, and fear. And this brilliantly illustrates just how incredibly unique this cosmology is compared to other world myths. Look at Genesis, right? God speaks, and boom, there's light. In Greek mythology, gods just emerge from a cosmic void. In Norse myth, the world is built by dismembering a giant's corpse. In all those, the supreme gods are doing the real heavy lifting. But in the Turkic myth, Kaira Khan is super reluctant. His creation doesn't emerge from a state of divine peace. It comes from pure cosmic anxiety. He literally needs animal labor to get the job done. Which brings us to Section 2, the duck's deep dive, sending the messenger. So Kaira Khan is unsettled, he's anxious, and he really needs a push to break out of this divine hesitation. And that push, it comes from Ak-Ana, the White Mother. She's the primordial creator goddess of water and fertility. But what's so cool is that she doesn't actually create the world herself. She acts entirely as a catalyst. She rises up from the mist of that endless, freezing ocean, appears right before our anxious goose god, and utters a single, simple command. Create. That's it. That is all it takes to break his hesitation, and the divine anxiety shatters. But hold on, there's a catch. Kaira Khan is finally ready to create, but he still absolutely refuses to get his own feathers wet. He is not diving into those chaotic waters himself. No way. Instead, he sends a messenger. Enter Luor, or Lura, the sacred wild duck. She is the real laborer of our story here. See, because ducks belong to both the upper world of the air and the world below the water, she's the perfect intermediary. So Kaira Khan tasks her with diving to the very bottom of the primordial sea to bring up sand, clay, and silt in her beak. Section 3, the Great Mud Betrayal, a cosmic heist. Now, this is where the story splits into two very different paths, starting with the Hungarian variant of this ancient myth, which injects some massive dramatic tension. Here's how this betrayal goes down. The great god, who is known in this variant as the Golden Father, tells the duck to bring him mud to make the earth. Step 1. The duck dives way down through the cold, freezing darkness, scoops up mud into her beak, and starts to rise. But on the way up, ambition strikes. I mean, why should God have all the power, right? Step 2. She actually tries to hide some of that extra mud in her beak, hoping to secretly build her own realm. She tries to swallow it down to keep it hidden. But the Golden Father sees right through the deception. Step 3, he reaches out, grabs her legs, and just brutally snaps them. So the crucial point is, this perfectly resolves our opening mystery. God tells the duck that her broken legs are the ultimate punishment for those who try to hide the earth from their creator. And from that very day forward, the duck has never walked straight again. That exact divine overreaction, that brutal cosmic punishment for a grand betrayal, is the literal mythological reason why all ducks waddle today. Every little waddle is a permanent reminder. Do not lie to the god who made the mud. Section 4. The Tender Alternative. A Mother's Sacrifice. Because as much fun as a cosmic heist and a divine leg snapping is, myths beautifully evolve across cultures. Not every version of the story paints the duck as some greedy traitor. In fact, a much gentler, much more maternal variant of the Siberian folklore was preserved by the incredibly famous Soviet-era Kyrgyz novelist Chinggis Aytmatov. He captured this alternative version in his novel, The Piebald Dog Running Along the Shore, which really proves just how deeply these ancient origins echo through modern literature. Aytmatov writes this absolutely beautiful passage. Then Luva the duck settled on the water, plucked the feathers from her breast, and made her nest. And it was from that floating nest that the land began to form. It's just incredible, isn't it? Notice how this completely removes the betrayal and the harsh punishment. Instead of a cosmic thief, the duck is just a devoted mother. She's flying alone over that endless water, desperately needing a safe place to lay her egg. She self-sacrifices, painstakingly plucking her own feathers to build a floating nest, and that humble, maternal act is the very thing that miraculously spreads outward to become the entire earth. Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, the Tree of Life, Human Origins. Because the duck's mud, or her nest, depending on your version, was really just the foundation. What happens next connects this newly formed earth directly to our own ancestry. You see, the number 9 is absolutely crucial in this cosmology. Once the earth was formed from the duck's mud, the supreme god Kaira Khan planted a seed. That single seed grew into the Ulukan, the great cosmic tree of life. And this massive tree grew exactly 9 branches. From these 9 branches, the 9 great human races, or lineages, were ultimately birthed into existence. When you really break down the lore here, you start to realize the sheer epic legacy of that duck's dive. The Ulukayan acts as the cosmic axis, literally connecting the earth, the sky, and the dark subterranean underworld all together. It's fiercely protected by Umayana, the guardian of children. From its deep roots flows Bangsu, the literal water of life, and human souls, they fly between the branches of this giant cosmic tree like little birds. So what does this all mean? It means that without the duck's humble retrieval of mud from the bottom of that freezing ocean, the tree of life could never have been planted. That little duck is the absolute catalyst for all of human existence. So we're left with this completely fascinating dual nature to the myth. Which version of the story do you prefer? Do you like the cosmic heist of the deceitful diver who lied to God and got her legs snapped for it? Or are you drawn to the devoted mother who plucked her own feathers to make a safe home? Honestly, either way you look at it, from her mud came the earth, from the earth came the tree, and from the tree came humanity. Think about that the next time you see a little duck waddling by the water. And more importantly, would you trust a duck to build your world? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep wondering, and I'll catch you in the next one.